time to open up tonight's unsolved case file. This is the part of the program where we ask for your help. If you have any information, please make that call tonight. Help investigators, help the family, and get justice for the victims in the case. Tonight's story involves three young brothers who disappear. Their parents are in the middle of a very contentious breakup and battle. Our great affiliate, WXYZ in Detroit, has the story of the Skelton brothers.
Well, the boys' mother says she's never lost hope. Her world was shattered 10 years ago. Now every day, she believes she's one step closer to some type of closure.
I never thought we would get to 10 years.
Tanya Zuvers is still in shock. These are the faces she remembers around Thanksgiving. Andrew was 9, Alexander was 7, and Tanner was just 5 years old when they disappeared from their home.
I was certain that there would have been a resolution. Long before now.
Andrew, Alexander, and Tanner went missing the day after Thanksgiving while in the care of their father, John Skelton. Right now, he is behind bars for unlawful imprisonment. Skelton claims he gave his sons to an unknown group to keep them safe from his estranged wife, Tanya Zuvers, the boy's mother. But police do not believe any parts of Skelton's story one bit.
I do communicate with him through a lot of different avenues and get information from him and about him. He's still giving us nothing but lies. Every time he seems to share information with us, it's either misdirection or it's just a bold-faced lie.
Tips are still coming in, but to get answers and ultimately justice, Brewer says John Skelton must tell the truth. His
world is closing in on him. All the family and the distant friends and people that he has been in communication with, it's all fallen off. Our goal is to get him to where he doesn't believe that anyone believes his lies.
Just because people are saying they're making it a murder investigation does not mean that the boys are dead.
Only on 7, a jailhouse telephone interview with John Skelton after he learns that Morency's police chief is investigating his son's disappearance as murder. Why do you think they've switched this to a murder investigation? What do you think leads them to believe that your kids are dead?
There's nobody to collaborate, seeing them. There's no pictures of these people. We covered our tracks too well.
Skelton, who last saw the boys alive here on Thanksgiving at his home in Morency, tells Action News he gave his sons to a group called Underground Sanctuary. He says it was to protect them from his wife, Tanya.
The boys told me that Tanya was reported sex with them.
As for this ominous Facebook post the night before the disappearance of his sons, John says he was simply upset. You posted something on your Facebook the night that the kids went missing. You said, "May God and Tanya forgive me." That was the night before the kids disappeared. What did you mean by that?
Just, that was spiral.
These are the new age progression images of the Skelton boys. Andrew would be 19, Alexander would be 17, and Tanner 15 years old this year. Forensic artists with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and Michigan State Police releasing the images, hoping you can help.
If the boys are out there, I hope they know that people are fighting for them every day. You know, I think about that all the time. Or we are realists in this. And for three boys to still be out there this many years later, knowing everything we know, it makes you think that something very bad could have happened.
My hope is in this lifetime, I will have the answers.
If you have any information, please call the Michigan State Police, 517-712-5016. You can call the Michigan State Police, 517-712-5016. You know, that underground sanctuary, that story very similar to what we heard from the Doomsday couple about what happened to JJ and Tylee. Oh yeah, we sent the kids off with these people, they're safe, you know, and we covered our tracks. We know how that ended, right? With murder charges and the children being found buried in Chad Daybell's backyard. Let's bring back in our guest, still with us in Salt Lake City, Utah, private investigator Jason Jensen, and in Atlanta, Georgia, president of Martinelli Investigations, private investigator Robin Martinelli. Jason, should this be a missing persons investigation or should this be a murder investigation?
I feel this case really should be a murder investigation. We know nowadays no body homicide charges are filed all the time, and The difference was 10 years ago, that wasn't very common. And so corpus delicti was necessary. So that's why the police went to great lengths to try and find the kids, either alive or dead. And instead of charging him for murder, they charged John Skelton for unlawful imprisonment.
The underground sanctuary, Robin Martinelli. Should investigators be trying to find this underground sanctuary, or should they be looking, unfortunately, for 3 little bodies?
Well, you can look at it both ways. I do agree with Jason. I just know that maybe possibly they could look for both. More than likely, I've done some research on the internet, and supposedly the father had Googled how to break someone's neck. I wasn't sure if they got this from the computer or the internet search, but supposedly he'd also attempted suicide shortly before Thanksgiving weekend. And there again, like the other case we talked about, significant dates come in play before something happens. Obviously, again, this was a domestic situation and a family situation. I don't know if I can't have them or if I can't be with them. I don't know who would or could. But this also helps to look for somebody's body or somebody's remains too, that if the boys aren't alive, to look for them or to look for any part of them, like they did find in some of the other cases with the other children in the backyard. So everybody can be on alert, but it's just really important to keep an open mind and to keep alert and to look for somebody's digital footprints and, to ask questions and to look further.
Yeah, Jason, as Robin said, another volatile domestic situation, right? And the kids, unfortunately, in the middle of it all. But there are 3 of them. And if this is murder, this is a triple homicide. And I'm just surprised that there wasn't enough evidence, if you're talking about triple homicide, that investigators have been able to find yet.
So true, yeah. You would think that there would have been some kind of forensics that they could have collected at the house, but if he drove the children somewhere else and the murder was committed elsewhere, they don't know where the crime scene occurred. So, yeah, they got a huge challenge here before them. It's just refreshing to know that these kinds of cases are rare, where one parent has that mentality in a divorce custody dispute that if I can't have them, no one will. It just harkens to the Josh Powell and the Susan Cox Powell case. That's another situation where, I'm going to lose the kids, so let's just, kill the kids, kill myself. At least Josh Powell had the bravery to kill himself, where here, Mr. Skelton, was a coward.
Absolutely. Jason Jensen, Robin Martinelli, appreciate your time and your insight on this Friday night. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jason.